right. Hey, welcome back to the NFR Tolleson Mack podcast brought to you by Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. To my right, our guest for this podcast is Cole Davison. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Good, good. Man, we sure appreciate all the hard work you did to get us this room. We really do. And if you're watching the live, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
How you been, man? We ain't seen you since Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's been good. Just been home and, like I said, making sure Trisha's bills are paid on
Last time you said this fucking
social
power
media
went
charges. Yeah, that's why they went to Flickr.
out. Power went out.
No, we just been home.
But guess what? We're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah.
They came right back.
Fired up the generators and let her roll.
We had a little mishap in the one we did in Oklahoma, so didn't get to go out. So we appreciate you coming back on and doing it.
Heck yeah.
Well, I'm thinking you came back on because it's fun,
Yeah.
right?
Well, it's kind of starting out that way.
Yeah.
Let's see how she ends.
Yeah, we'll see how it
I
goes.
think Benny went to go get you another drink. It's fixing to get
I'm
real.
not
What,
against that.
What have you been up to?
Man, I don't really know where to start.
We got time.
I've riding a bunch of dinks at home and chasing my little girls around to softball and junior rodeos and volleyball and basketball and whatever else my wife can sign them up for that week. And because we got a lot of extra time, we
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
put them in extra stuff like that. So,
No.
You ride 15 outside horses or 15 of your own a day. That's not that many.
yeah,
We can get through that.
How many horses you got at the house?
Oh man, don't ask questions I don't know the answer to.
Give me a ballpark. Give me a ballpark.
I'd say we probably stay between 75 and 85 at a time. Yeah.
Holy shit, man!
Yeah, somewhere in between those two.
Yeah, so
numbers.
when he
Do
says
you own your own hay truck? Or?
yeah, no kidding.
I've been to his house and kind of watched him ride. When he says he might not have just a whole lot of time. It starts when the sun comes up. When the sun's going down, he's still riding them. So it's like, man,
So how many guys help you do that? 75, 85 horses? Are all those
We've
softball
got
players
broodmares.
helping?
Yeah,
or-
no, yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
No, we got some broodmares and babies, and my wife raises horses and barrel horses and rope horses. So some of that's included in that. But I've got honestly some really good guys now. I guess I've got 4 helpers full time. So yeah, we got plenty going on.
So for the listeners out there, what's the duties, responsibilities of a helper?
Oh man,
Is that what Benny's doing right now?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that is part of it. Yeah, that's another story. But I'll go. Man, we probably go a little overboard. I like them dang sure taken care of. Manes, tails braided all the time. We give them a little extra when we feed. There's one guy that all he does is feed and make sure I don't screw one up. Like make sure they're going to the vet when they're supposed to, make sure everything's sound, looking good, healthy, and then he kind of works both. That's Tanner. He kind of works both. He can ride and rope too, so that's pretty damn helpful. But Blake, all he does is rope all day. I don't even know why I pay him, honestly. He ought to be paying me, but
Sounds like a good gig.
yeah, I tell him all the time, I'll trade you jobs anytime.
you need them turned, so you got to have somebody there to
Yeah,
take 'em
exactly. And then this year, Landon Da Silva, which I think he's 16 now. He's been around me since he was 3 and taught him. And he's worked for some other guys, Cade Rice, for a year. And so he came back and he pretty much just ropes too. So I'd trade him too. But yeah, it's fun. I got a girl that braids manes and tails all day. Like it's a full
Well,
day.
that's a big part of what you're doing, right? These horses, they don't only have to perform at top notch, but if you want to sell it to maybe like the amateur guys or something, they got to look top notch, right?
Yeah, just takes a little more effort to go first class, I guess you'd say. But yeah, we want them
Back
pretty.
to us getting
yeah.
this room
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
takes a little more effort.
Here
Just
more effort. Yeah, just thinking outside the box. Yeah.
Little. There's a box, and then there's outside of it, right? That's what I'm thinking.
Sure enough.
Brandon is not going to let us put this one out. He's like, cut, edit, as we go through.
Yeah.
But so how's that work for the people at home listening? I buy a horse, I send him to you, we partner on the horse. How's that work?
So I do have some that I'm partners on, but as a whole, mainly people will come to me and say, "Hey, I want a horse. to go to the fraternity system. I said, perfect. We go look for something that I kind of think a little further down the road, I guess you'd say. And I don't know if that's right or wrong or indifferent, but I want something that after we go and hopefully he pays his way by winning while we go, afterwards they have something to go enjoy and go to the World Series finale on and make a lot of money on there. But mainly just something that they can ride and enjoy because horses are so expensive now. Like it's wild what a good quality horse is, what they cost. And, hopefully we can train them, season them at these fraternities, and then they go from there.
How hard is it to get the guy with the checkbook to fit the horse that you find for him?
I think.
I mean, is it you meet the guy and you say, okay, I got one, in stall 23 that's going to fit him good? Or, I mean, or is it, do you line a bunch on the
I
fence?
mean, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, like if someone was to come try a horse or whatever, I have told a couple people, like after the second steer, I'm like, hey, he's just not for you because it doesn't do either one of us any good. If you buy this horse, he doesn't fit you a month down the road, then I'm trying to figure out where to sell him for you. I don't even want to cross that bridge, So
how often does it happen?
Oh man, I mean, it does. Like I think it happens a lot. Sorry.
Well, I mean, I think
a
so.
lot.
See him.
Probably more than it should. And I, like I said, I don't know if it's nice guy finishing last story or whatever, but I really think that if you don't jump over $1 for a dime, like take your time, fit the horse to the person, make sure that they're getting the right needs and also for the horse. Like maybe I'm a little too passionate about horses or whatever, but I don't really want them to go live a bad life either. You know what I'm saying? So, but it happens. Yeah. A lot.
Yeah. And you probably get some of those horses that need a little stronger guy, and that maybe some of them will walk over some of these guys that are going to be down here roping in the 8 or the 9, you know what I mean? Something like that, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's funny because they'll run, like I said, 1 or 2 steers, and you're like, yeah, that ain't going to work because they're pushing buttons that horse can't take, and you can kind of know, I mean, like pretty quick.
I think we got to teach the roper how to ride the horse. A lot of the times, the horse is fine, but the rider is just completely.
Well, and I'm getting to that because this is kind of a unique sport in a way that there's every guy from the number 7 ropings all the way up to the open to the guys at the Tolleson Mack over there. But it's such a wide range of places you guys got to train these horses to go fit.
Yeah, and I mean, it's no discredit to anybody. I mean, I've been there in that spot and ridden bad myself, but it's like, these guys are trying to catch. Like, that's their job, to catch fast, that are here this week. And, like, you'll kind of abandon your horse every now and then. Well, hopefully I've done my job, that horse knows his job leaving there, and he's not waiting on me to tell him every move to make and every step. Like, he's so locked onto a cow that he can go do his job, and so that's kind of the approach I take to it. I don't know if it's right or wrong or whatever, but I would just
work.
Well, sometimes
Right.
I would just assume that horse do his job and we can worry about our job.
Seems to me like that story what you just said about everybody had to start and had to ride something that wasn't as good as what they're riding now. But you had to do that when you were young, when you were a younger age, like whatever, 15, whatever. Some of these guys are just getting roping right now at this level, and they say they're 56 years old and they're just starting to get into it. It's a little harder for them to ride that horse right now in their part of their life, at the age that they're at. It was easier for you when you were younger, but right now they need, for that their age, I think they need, they want that younger horse. But
yeah, I do. I think that's something which roping has changed so much, and horse training. I mean, everybody is smart enough to evolve, right? Like, you're not just gonna be so stuck in your ways like back in the day. But I think it's just like riding a bike. I mean, if you learn to ride it when you're 3 or 4 years old compared to when you're 40 years old, it's going to be different, like you said, But I think these horses nowadays too, like, we've bred them to be more athletic. Mm-hmm. We've bred them to be more smart. We've put all the time in them, but like, the guy's got to be able to ride it too.
So I think there's so many people that are getting into the roping game now that are like, they're firefighters and they're 30 years old to 50 years old. There's a big group of them, middle-aged guys that are getting into roping, I think, now.
And that's what I was saying. It's probably hard to find horses to fit all these different level guys. And I mean, you're training on them, and I'm sure your tendency, just natural tendency, would start to lean to a little more pro. You know, do you gotta dial it back sometimes?
Well, that was definitely a learning curve. Like when I was still rodeoing, I'd only have 4 or 5 horses, and I was just responsible for them, showing them and winning on them. And man, it was easy. Like, well, heck, I know what I need to catch. Well, the first year that I didn't rodeo and I was at home training these horses, and some of these guys would come ride them, I'm like, holy crap, what did I do wrong? Like I haven't done my job. But then I get on them and they do their job. Well, that's not my job. My job is to make that horse fit everybody.
Yeah, and we've said that a lot on here. Like, you know, if I'm selling a heel horse and I'm taking a video to put it on somewhere, chances it's probably doesn't show that well. We call you guys to come over and show a heel horse, same steer, same arena, same everything, and it looks like it should be, you know, top of the world.
Yeah. And I think it's the hardest thing I have tried to accomplish is teaching people less is more. Like they try to just do everything for the horse when they get on them. I'm like, man, if you get in your truck and you're pressing the gas and the brakes at the same time, what happens? You lose your brakes, you know?
Right.
You can't be pulling and kicking all the way to the cow and expect your horse to have brakes when you get there.
You know, I've heard a lot from Caesar and stuff like that. You know, let your horse, like, put your hand down, let your horse do what he knows how to do. And I think it's like Jesus take the wheel at that point. You know what I mean? I just think that it's the control factor of, you know, not having it in your hand or whatever. But then when I would do that, listen to Caesar, I mean, and the horse go right in there, right? You know, perfect spot. So
You got a really good horse at the finals. Paul, his name is Apollo, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that horse a little bit. I think I don't know if Paul's going to start on him or not.
I don't know what his plan is. I don't think Paul really cares.
I don't think
He's got
he
many
heals so
ones
good
that,
on
yeah, he
everything,
can
so
rip
it
on
doesn't
whatever,
matter
but-
really for that guy.
Yeah, I mean, that horse was a freak. Ren Richard trained him. Well, I don't want to give him all the credit. But he did a lot.
He did a good job.
Yeah, that guy's amazing. But that horse honestly taught me a lot about horses in general. Like he could do stuff that most horses couldn't, and he could do it in not arrogantly, but like to the normal guy, they don't even know what he's doing. You know what I mean? But what that horse could, how strong he was, how fast he was, and his athleticism that didn't get in your way, that's a hard thing to find. And like Paul didn't even try that horse. He just bought him over the phone. He just called me, and I was sitting at home, and he's like, "What's Apollo doing?" I was like, "Well, he's sitting here watching me ride a bunch of dinks, and I get to ride up the arena every time and look at him, you know." And he's like, "Well, what about him?" I was like, I don't really need to say a whole lot. I don't think. Like, I mean, the horse is great. He's so good, he got me to the NFR. That's what I tell people. But no, that horse, he's cool, and I mean, I don't miss many horses, but I miss getting to ride that one. He brought him.
That was going to be my question. Have you sold
Yeah.
one or two that you really miss?
Yeah, I missed that one. He brought him to the house this summer for 2 days, I think, or 1 day, and I loped him in a couple circles, and I was like, "Yeah, this ain't gonna take long." And I ran one steer, and he goes, "God dang!" I was like, "Well, yeah, but I've rode him for 7, 8 years. You've rode him for 6, 8 months."
That horse's speed, there's something to that. Has he got any kind of run in his bloodlines? I know the
No.
Richards kind of look for that a lot. He's got more
Yeah.
cow.
He's straight cow. I say that like C.D. Olena is his daddy, and I mean Ryan Motes had 2 great horses that were both C.D. Olenas.
They could fly,
Yeah,
too.
they could both run. So I'm gonna say, he's all cow. He's C.D. Olena out of a Shining Spark mare. I actually lucked out. I've got 2 young ones out of Apollo's mama now. And so they can run though. So I think it's a little bit of both. But no, I love the run cross deal, like what Ren and Chad and Caden are doing. I mean, you can't deny that. Like it's roping. We're going fast. So we need the run, and then there's a cow, so we need the cow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they
Very simple.
score in the box too. They sat there and score. It's not like they're just all thinking about run, and they rate and they stop. It's like real cool.
I think there's a lot to that. I think a horse that knows they can run are confident to stand there as long as you want them to, because they know they can catch up. Like they're not worried about it, and I think there's a lot to that.
You're right, because a horse that just really can't. It's like they got it. It stresses them out when they feel like they're in the box. They they got a blast every time a horse can, they can really run. It seems like they're only going 50% half the time. You know what I mean? They're just cruising down through there.
Exactly.
So
What are you thinking about the NFR this year, the team roping? How's it looking?
Oh shoot, I'm so disconnected now. I need to probably get more back into it because I miss it. I loved rodeoing. And I've got a lot of friends. That
What
made
part
it,
do you miss the most?
I mean, winning's pretty dang fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, but I mean that could happen. We could bring a ping pong table in here. You could do that.
And it's just
being 3.8,
yeah,
and, 3.5, that's kind of fun. Yeah.
Exactly.
Especially being out here right now, this time of year, I'm sure it's something to even you. I mean, this is a time where everybody, everybody knows you guys, and you guys are the rock stars around here. So pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that is cool. I just I've got a lot of friends. Obviously, I mean we all do that rodeo, and I kind of miss that and seeing like the places we get to go stay at. All of our cool friends that we go stay at for 2 or 3 days and cook out and do the deal, and they're always like, "Oh, get on my horse and run 4 or 5," and just that makes their day or whatever.
It
But
is.
even though they don't know, I probably screwed him up. But it's like, but yeah, no, I miss it. I mean, obviously Vegas it's ranked. Like there's no
Yeah.
Caesar got to experience a few more times than I did.
It's a fun time. It's a fun time.
It's fun, man.
Just the grand entry, that part. That's kind of a blast every night.
I never knew. Like people are always like, "Oh, the grand entry this, grand entry that." I'm like, you go run in a circle, like, yeah, but when he like
Just badass.
When you actually do it, it's a little different.
And when
There's
they're
an atmosphere in there, right?
yeah, it's a little different than just running in a circle.
And then when you get out of there, like you're getting like you feel like you're ready to rope something.
Or you're kind of scared that some rough stock guy's gonna blow by you and knock shit out of you on the way up the tunnel. Like, that's
Once you get out of the tunnel safe, when you're on your way around the building to go rope one, it feels like you're ready to rope
which
one.
I never like. I'm pretty. I mean, like me. I'll talk to people. I'm not like a real focused like weird dude about it, but when you leave that warm up pin and walk around to that tunnel, nobody talks.
Yeah.
Like
It's-
they're like, all right, this is 30K. Like I need to have my shit together. You know what I
It's
mean?
not even that. It's like
Yeah.
we're going through the run in our brain. Like, okay, like ride your horse, rope. Like, there's all kinds of little stuff you got to think about. Because then once you're back in the box, it's like it's over so fast. It's like, man, I didn't even get like
I
that
know,
was
yeah.
so fast. And even when you catch one, I was like, man, I was in the right spot at the right time. I threw my rope and it was 2 feet. I was like, that was sweet. But
Exactly.
you wind up in the wrong spot over here, and you're out of time a little bit. It is not.
They always say like when you do good, the arena's not big enough, and when you do bad, that sucker's huge.
Feels like you're right out of Houston over there when you miss one.
Yeah, but it is. I mean, you can't explain how fast it happens. I mean, when that door rolls up and he hollers team ropers, then your hair starts standing up and you get in a line and it's like, holy shit, I'm up. Like, and I'm in the box and I'm done. Like you cannot. There's not another rodeo like that. I mean,
You've been waiting all day to run one, and then it's over fast. And,
And
then now
yeah.
I got to wait another
and then you
24
gotta
hours to
wait,
run
yeah.
another one. Suddenly,
It's like, I mean, I don't know what it's like to play in the Super Bowl or all those big sporting events, but for a fast paced, fun deal, this is pretty ranked. I'll say that.
It is. It really is.
Yeah. Well, I know what we need to take a break for. Benny just walked back in, and we got to get Cole filled back up. So we're gonna take a little break, and we'll
Holler
be
at
right
us,
back.
high noon. Holler at us.
Welcome to the Tolleson Mack Part 2 with Cole Davison. Actually, Part 3 because we had that little incident with the electric, but whatever. It seems like it's gotten taken care of.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Shout out to everybody's on live right now.
Everybody on live, what's up?
Thank you, Trisha, for kicking the lights back on for us.
Trisha, just thank
Doing
you for
the most.
all you do.
Doing the most.
Thank you for all you do.
Yes.
Cole would like to extend a special shout out and just say thank you for all you do.
Yeah, no, I think her. Yeah, I get that feel and I think her right away.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into some rodeo story shit. We've talked about horses and kids and, all that good stuff, but give me a good rodeo story. I mean a good one.
Oh.
We had old Shad in here the other day, not here, but at home. Oh, shit, we got Pendleton fight stories. We got, I want some good shit.
Yeah, we've had some Pendleton stories too.
Oh, man.
I think everybody probably got a
That
Pendleton
place.
story, you know?
That's what I'm thinking.
Like between Bueller and old Rasford, they borrowed a feller's what do you call them bikes where the people ride behind you?
Oh, like the two people in the back?
like they take you out to the sport. Well, Bueller and Casper, they grabbed oh boy, they said, hey, we'll take over from
We're
here.
gonna take it from here.
They're giving people rides all up and down Pendleton Street. It's like, ooh. Yeah, nah, we ain't gonna go there. Yeah,
We
my
tried.
horse-
We
my
tried.
horse, yeah, that horse I love so much, Apollo. Well, I guess we can tell it.
Yeah, let's tell
Me
it.
and Jeremy,
We're already here.
we're going to the letter buck room, just relaxing. I didn't never rode Apollo at Pendleton because I was kind of a death sentence because I'd ended up on the back of my head. But we'd lope him around, watch the perf, and go in there and have a few drinks and go back. Like, we're getting old. We don't do the whole party deal and blah, blah, blah. And we go back to get our horses and they're gone. And I'm like, oh, hell.
This cannot be good.
Yeah, this Bueller's got his good horse, old Pork Chop, and Apollo, and they're just tied up. They're buddies, just chilling. We got out there, and they're both gone. And I got Blake, the boy that works for me, he sends me a video of people riding them.
Oh shit!
And I'm like, ooh. I said, damn, how'd they get on that sumbitch double? I could barely ride him by myself, much less somebody else on there.
They were riding him double.
Riding him double down the road on
What
the
the
asphalt.
hell?
Oh,
You know, and I mean, like I said earlier, like I love that horse. Like
Yeah.
he and I are
your
cool.
family.
Like, we're cool. We don't.
Did the captain call come out of you just a little bit?
Jeremy. Well, I don't know if I was Gus and he was Captain Carl. I don't know what our role was right there, but I'm gonna tell you this: I was talking more than Jeremy because I knew Jeremy was behind me. That's why I was talking. And man, we figured out who it was, and they didn't want to own up to it at first, and we gave them one more chance, and it all. Pendleton turned into, I don't know, Tombstone out in the middle of the street. I don't know what it was, but yeah, my wife was real proud of me.
Was it like a misunderstanding, or was it?
No, it was pretty much them being dipshits, drunk.
Whiskey drunk. It's
You know,
Pendleton, man.
Like we were talking about earlier, that Pendleton
goddamn,
works.
I mean,
It'll
you
work
don't-
on a guy. Yeah.
It only
Even
takes
whiskey
it only
drunk,
takes
you
a
don't
couple
untie
drinks.
somebody's horse.
Is it somebody that was just a random person, or
Just
somebody you knew?
Young kids that
Oh
just
man.
and what the people who rode Jeremy's horse called me right away, and they're like, "Hey, we did it," and I'm like, "All right, at least you owned up to it, you know?" Because, man, just be truthful. Don't lie to me.
Mm.
Do not lie to me. I ain't into that, and or Jeremy, and so we ended up finding out who it was, and we cornered them. I'll never forget, over by the Dairy Queen, and
All the good shit goes on at Dairy Queen.
Oh boy, he's like, no, it wasn't me. I'm like, yeah, it was. Like, I ain't pulled out the video yet. Like, I'm not going to, you know. Well, finally, he's like, all right, it was me. So we went on. Then that's when we went to the street to find the other guy. He was in there having him a dinner, just thinking his night was good until Bueller come out. But no, we've had fun. Snow, you're not that important. We'll get to you in a minute.
He come ripping that door open like,
Yeah.
woo.
So, I mean, we had a pretty cool buddy group. Like, we were pretty good buds, and we rodeoed in Canada a lot, and we kind of rodeoed like rock stars, I guess. We had really nice rigs and enjoyed them, and we after that, I wouldn't really want to rodeo any other way, you know. But there's probably more stories. I just can't remember 'em. Yeah.
I bet
Yeah,
you were
we-
hot. You walked out there, and your horses were gone.
Yeah, we weren't very
Oh,
happy. Yeah.
I want to hear a story maybe of when you're going to rodeo and roll the tire out of a trailer or truck or
Ooh,
something.
yeah.
Those are always the best rodeo stories.
we
Let's
were
hear,
on a- yeah.
let's hear one of those.
That was a good old Canada road right there for you. Yeah. I don't know if they don't charge taxes up there or what.
about like that road coming in here from
That's
King.
horrible.
Good, not a little. I
Awful.
got hold. Man, we were rolling because we had to be, and of course, in Canada you got to get your rodeo counted, and you can only go to, or Americans have to go to 15. Well, we can only get to 15, pretty much, you know, to make the final. Blah blah. We're rolling. I mean, this bus I had would get it. We're rolling, and I guess Pony was behind us maybe, and Tyrell, and they called me like, "Hey, your tire's smoking." I said, "Hey, don't be fucking with me. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that." Hey, I look back and this sucker is blowed up. The tire's headed out. I said, "Oh man." We jump out. We were underneath it. We had good old power line. We pulled the axle up, 2 of them, locked it up. We jumped out. I had a Jeep in the back of the trailer. So we got in the Jeep, put the horses on the back, which I feel so bad for this now. Make Apollo go through that for a damn
He's a war horse, dude.
$800 Canadian rodeo.
You must like this horse.
Oh, I
'cause
love
you-
that horse.
He's a good horse.
I love
Man,
that horse.
I just
Yeah.
feel bad about making him go through
No,
this.
it was bad. We jumped him on the back of a janky Canadian trailer of tie rails. And there we went. We made it. I don't
Man,
know. We didn't win nothing. And then
you got your count in though. You got the count in.
we got the count. Benny comes in. He got power lines hanging all off this rig, holding axles up. And that's the one thing I'll say about Canada. Like, everybody up there is cool. Like, this old farmer's like, hey, you got a problem with your rig? I'm like, well, yeah. He goes, bring it to the house and we'll weld it up. I'm like, all right.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
sure as shit. The axle had broke loose. It wasn't messed up other than that. But we, after the rodeo, go in there and back it into his deal. Hell, I ended up underneath there welding that thing up. And we drove for a while until we got a new one. So
That's pretty cool. Do you see that a lot on the road? Some of them guys that are just cool, like, hey man, come to the house, we'll help you out. Or
yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. That's what I would probably say I miss the most about rodeo, just meeting new people and good people. Like, you don't meet good people everywhere, you know.
It's true.
It's funny how if you need help though, the good people are there for you. Like it's
they come
especially
out.
like I've had a couple incidents like that, and yeah, good people are.
Oh yeah, Ren ran us out of fuel one time from my house to San Angelo, and it ain't even that far. He's like, "Well, we're gonna make." I said, "Dude, you don't understand. We're about to be out here in the middle of nowhere." He's like, "I won't make it."
Texas is a huge
not make
state,
it.
dude.
Nah, 2 more miles. We're
Texas
sitting on the
is
side of the
huge.
road. I had to walk up to this dude's house. We get some diesel. Hell, I still talk to that guy to this day. This old rancher over there. And he's, oh yeah, I used to rope calves, this and that. Blah, blah, blah. Be damn, you know. Well, yeah, yeah. That's almost as good. So we used to. Another good story. Me and Bueller, we'd get in the bus and we'd get in the front and be like a bunch of girls and play 80s, 90s countries and just jam out on the way back to Canada, you know, and leaving the rodeo. And we pulled into Butte, Montana one night, and Jeremy was pretty lit. And it's his turn to buy diesel. He gets out, and I mean, it costs a bunch to fill that bus up. He gets out, he's running. I'm looking at the price. I said, God dang, Jeremy. I said, what'd you buy? He looks. It was like $600 or $700. He bought the high octane something other fuel because he didn't even know what he was buying.
He hit the wrong button.
He's God dang.
I bet you that bus run that.
He got 30 gallons.
It wasn't gonna gel up in the middle of the summer. Yeah, Jeremy was taking care of the rig, taking care of that motor. You know,
just letting her flow.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
What else you got going on out here? I know you didn't just come out here for the podcast.
No, I got a buddy that's getting married, and yeah, we got a lot more stuff going on at home. We just bought into gold buckle fraternities, so we're really excited about that. And then we've been building some.
Yeah, you were showing us.
Yeah,
that.
partner of mine, Steve Zemrick. We've been building container homes,
Those things are bad.
hunting retreats, and
Where do people find those if
Yeah.
they want to buy them?
351 custom containers. So we're excited about that. That's a cool something new, like kind of fun to wake up for. You know what I mean? Like something I don't really know that much about. My family's always built houses and remodeled and done that kind of stuff, but I'd never have. Like I'm not against working and figuring it out, but this guy that I'm partners with, Steve, he knows what he's doing. Thank God. So that's we'd have
It
it.
sure looks like it. I mean, like that one with the porch that opens, all the
Yeah,
LEDs around it and everything.
Yeah, no, he's got cool ideas. It's kind of cool because we've been in, I don't know, like my industry or whatever, people that I know, and then I can kind of show off because he knows what he's doing. It's like they're like, "You built this?" I said, "Well,
Yeah.
not really, but yeah,
Heck yeah, I did.
sounds cool." Yeah,
Yeah, when he was showing us the pictures off camera, he definitely was saying he built them.
yeah. Exactly.
But now that guy might be
My
watching.
job was the zip tie guy handing it to him.
Exactly. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we'll let you
Yeah.
get out of here, huh?
We Really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Cole.
guys.
Appreciate it.
Heck yeah.
Technical difficulty stuff gets us sometimes, but we're all right.
We can handle it.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good. Thank you.